In cybersecurity, we spend so much time and money building these digital walls to keep attackers out. But what happens when they get through? Because they always do. Today, we're going to talk about the most critical and, honestly, the most overlooked part of security, that last mile of defense.
First, I just want to start with one number that really frames this whole conversation. 2 seconds. That's it. Just 2 seconds.
So, what is that? Well, according to the latest data, a ransomware attack happens every 2 seconds. Think about that. It's a relentless, nonstop barrage. And when you're facing a threat that constant, it forces you to completely rethink your entire defensive strategy.
And that brings us to this. The old way of thinking, just build a big digital wall and hope for the best. That's just not going to cut it anymore. The reality we all have to face now is that a breach is no longer an if, it's a when. It's an inevitability.
So, okay, that leads to a pretty big question, doesn't it? If we're using the best firewalls, the best security software, why are the attackers still getting through? Why are they still winning? I mean, just look at the money being spent. Organizations have pumped trillions of dollars into preventative measures. Trillions. And yet somehow, the scales are still tipped in favor of the bad guys. We see these massive, catastrophic breaches in the headlines all the time. It proves there is this huge, fundamental gap in our collective strategy. We have to start looking beyond the firewall. So the focus has to shift. The conversation can't just be about if an attacker gets in. It has to be about, okay, what happens when they do? And this brings us to a really, really important new concept. It's called post-breach operational resilience. Now, that sounds a bit technical, but the idea is actually super simple. Think of it like a boxer. Resilience isn't about avoiding the punch. It's about your ability to take that punch, shake it off, and get right back in the fight, immediately, with all of your data totally intact, even after your main defenses have been completely knocked down. That's the last mile. All right, so how do you actually do that? Well, let's look at one example of a technology that was built for this exact purpose, the EchoLeaf Safe Room. Let's see how a solution like this tackles that last mile challenge. And when you see this, it really hits home. We're not talking about just another piece of software here. The whole idea behind a cyber vault like the EchoLeaf Safe Room is to create a literal, physical fortress for an organization's most critical asset, its data. The heart of this fortress is something called a physical air gap, and it's as simple as it sounds, but it's incredibly powerful. It means your backup data is literally physically disconnected from any network. I mean, think about it. Ransomware can't corrupt what it can't connect to. It's really that simple. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of how this actually works. First, it creates what are called immutable backups. That's a fancy term with a simple meaning. Once that data is written, nobody can alter or delete it, period. Second, it uses this patented storage that's literally built to be ransomware-proof. And third, and this is really cool, it virtualizes tape. So it takes that old-school, bulletproof security of tape and makes it as easy to search and use as a modern hard drive. So let's play this out. The inevitable happens. You've been hit. With something like this in your corner, what does that road back to normal actually look like? This is the payoff right here. On the left, you've got the typical recovery nightmare. We're talking weeks, maybe months of total chaos, just a mess. On the right, though, with an air-gapped, clean backup just waiting for you, that chaotic timeline collapses down to a manageable recovery of hours or days. It's a total game changer. It's a shift from chaos to control. And the process itself is designed for pure speed. It's a beautifully simple procedure. You securely access the vault, you select a clean point-in-time version of your data from before the attack, and you restore operations. Simple, fast, and effective. The benefits also go way beyond just security. Let's talk money for a second. From a financial perspective, this type of solution can have a huge impact. Compared to a lot of the cloud or disk-based backups out there, the total cost of ownership for something like EchoLeaf is reportedly 75 to 77% lower. That's massive. And here's an unexpected benefit I bet you didn't see coming. This approach is also significantly better for the environment. Because it uses far less energy than traditional storage, you're looking at an 86% reduction in CO2 emissions. So you get stronger security that's also a greener solution. That's a win-win. And the advantages just keep stacking up. First, the system is highly scalable, from 200 terabytes all the way up to over 11 petabytes. It's designed to be non-disruptive, so it integrates right into your existing environment.
It's an IBM-certified solution, it offers multi-site redundancy, and finally, a huge point for anyone managing a budget, the cost is transparent. No hidden monthly storage fees, no egress fees.
So, when you put all of this together, it really feels like we're at a clear turning point in how we approach cybersecurity. Let's kind of bring it all home. The crucial point is this. Just relying on prevention is a strategy that isn't just failing anymore, it's obsolete. The entire landscape has fundamentally changed. The only viable strategy moving forward is true post-breach resilience. That's it. This is what will separate the organizations that survive an attack from the ones that, well, don't. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. When, and notice I said when, not if, your defenses are breached, is your business truly prepared to be up and running the very next day? What is your plan for that last mile? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. To learn more about what it really takes to build this kind of operational resilience, you can visit the EchoLeaf Systems website. The key takeaway is just how important it is to have a solid plan to get back on your feet when you need it most.